All right, after that fabulous weekend of baseball, we're at the 81-game mark of the season. Halfway home, and the Mariners on pace for a scintillating 68-94 season. Yeah, exactly.
Not what I was expecting.
Now, we had a chance to talk with Brian Kenny of MLB.com, and actually we podcasted it. You could listen to it. He had a statement to make, and it was our poll question yesterday. It was kind of who you putting the blame on, and you can always check that out at the blog or on the Facebook page, or we have the votes. You can still vote if you feel like it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Who would you put the blame on? And actually, in Brian Kenny's case, he delivered a line that I thought we'd discuss, and that he said, well, it's a general manager's league. So if it's a general manager's league, the fault resides with Jack Zduriencik, right?
Wrong. I disagree. I think when ownership does not support your manager, your GM, by giving them the proper tools, which in this case would be payroll, instead they slash payroll by $10 million, and part of this year's payroll even includes a $1.7 million signing bonus to Danny Holtzen when you're looking at their total payroll. They've got so much less to work with. Now, people will point to what the A's are doing, where it almost feels like they've gotten lucky. They stripped it down to rebuild it, and they've just been a little bit better. They had no intention of being any good, and maybe at the end of the year that'll be true. But I don't know what you expected Jack Z to do. Everybody wants to point to Sean Figgins as well as look what he did there. Okay, he swung and missed on Figgins. At the time, everybody thought that was a great deal. Though I didn't hear anybody saying, oh, what are the Mariners doing? They're idiots. At the time, it was a great deal.
Right.
It didn't work out. You can go to every team in the league and look at free agent moves or trades that they made that didn't work out. It's part of what happens. So if we want to, blast him for that, okay. But outside of this, I don't know what he was supposed to do this year.
He also, he kind of said at the start of the year, look, we're going to be challenged on the major league level this year. I mean, that much was said. I agree with you 100% on it. I don't see how it's even possible to consider Jack Zduriencik as part of the problem. And it wasn't just this year. It's been the last 3 years now that they've cut payroll roughly $8 to $10 million each year. And here's another thing. This is a completely different team at home than it is on the road. They hit almost 60 points higher on the road. They're a power team on the road. They're one of the more powerful teams in the league on the road. Safeco Field's in their head. I applaud Eric Wedge for saying that's not an excuse anymore, but it really has got to stop. I mean, they're a team that is producing on the road and not producing at home. It's almost not fair to judge where they are yet, because I still think they can have a decent second half if they can just play representative baseball at Safeco Field.
Yeah, and I don't know how you get over that mental hurdle. If that's something that's been plaguing them, if it's something, and you can see it in their demeanor and their approach when they're at home. It's different. You hear it in their comments after the game at home. So I don't know how all of a sudden you flip the switch in the second half of the season and expect different results. I think if it's in their head now,
I'm hoping they're young and they can play through it, but that's...
Well, maybe as people say, when the weather warms up, maybe they have a little more success at home. Maybe they kind of overcome that hurdle. But outside of that, outside of just having success at home, I don't think there are magic words. I don't think there's messages to be sent. People talk about, well, send this guy down, send this guy down, because
they're young players.
I don't get a sense of entitlement there when I'm in that clubhouse. I don't get a sense that they aren't getting some message that's being sent. They're just not producing. They're trying too hard, if anything, at home. So we'll see what the answer is in the second half.
Sure.
But ultimately, getting back to, is it the GM's fault? I don't know how you could blame him with what he was handed to work with.
We got your back, Jack Z. Nothing to worry about.